Allah said, what prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you? Iblis refused. So Allah said, why didn't you do it? I ordered you. And this is something that we need to remember also. When Allah's order is clear, then why should we not do it? Isn't it sufficient that Allah has ordered? Shaitan said, I am better than him. You created me from fire and you created him from clay. Allah said, descend from paradise. Get out from here. For it is not for you to be arrogant therein. So get out. Indeed, you are of the debased. فَخْرُجْ إِنَّكَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. So what do we learn? Humiliation and disgrace is for who? Those who disobey their Lord. Not those who obey their Lord. Those who obey their Lord, they will be honored in this life and the next. And those who disobey their Lord, there is dishonor, humiliation for them in this world and in the next. Qala, he said, Shaitan said, reprieve me until the day they are resurrected. Meaning, give me a very long life to live. Don't cause me to die until the day of judgment. Allah said, indeed you are of those who are reprieved. Shaitan said, because you have put me in error, I will surely sit and wait for them on your straight path. This is Iblisiyyah. Blaming Allah for one's own wrongdoing. You made me sin, O Allah. You didn't let me pray. It's not my fault. That's exactly what Shaitan did. Then I will come to them from before them and from behind them and on their right and on their left, and you will not find most of them grateful to you. وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ. So what do we see? That Shaitan's ultimate goal is to make us feel ungrateful. Why? Because لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. It's Allah's promise that if you're grateful, Allah will increase the blessings for you. What we appreciate, appreciates. It increases in dunya and in the akhirah. And for ingratitude, for kufr, the punishment is severe. So Shaitan, what does he want? That we should become ungrateful. Because when we're ungrateful to Allah, then what will happen? Our good deeds will decrease. Our hope, our faith in Allah will weaken. Our obedience to Him will also decrease. Our worship of Allah will also decrease. And then our relationships will also get damaged. Ingratitude is very dangerous. It seems very petty, but it's actually very dangerous. Because Shaitan's goal is what? وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ. Then we see another thing in this ayah, that Shaitan said, I will come to them, meaning to people, from before them, from behind them, from their right, from their left. Meaning, there is not a thing we do except that Shaitan interferes in it. Except that Shaitan interferes in it. Anything we do, Shaitan, his goal is to bother us. Even in our sleep, he tries to frighten us. Even when we are praying, he tries to distract us. Even when we're reciting the Qur'an. This is why we're told, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Isn't that? When we're trying to eat, Shaitan interferes in that. I want you to imagine this. That there is somebody who is just next to you, constantly commenting on what you're doing, interfering in what you're doing, criticizing you for what you're doing, and suggesting that you do things differently. Just imagine, you sit down, and imagine somebody right behind you, right next to you. Don't sit here, sit there. Fine, you get up and you sit there. No, why are you sitting? You should be standing. You cook something? Why are you cooking this way? You go somewhere, you drive. Why are you going this direction? Go the other direction. Right? These people who instruct us while we're driving, what do we call them? Back seat drivers. Right? You want to drive? Come drive. But if you're not driving, then let me drive. Just imagine if somebody's constantly commenting on what you're doing. Will it bother you? Will you consider that person to be a friend? No way. What happens? Our mothers, if they tell us, why are you wearing this dress? Go change it. No, this scarf doesn't match. Change your shoes. Why aren't you studying right now? Eat some more. Why are you eating so much? Drink some water. Go to school now. What do you say? Mom, I know what to do. And if that person happens to be a mother-in-law, God save her. Huh? Or if he happens to be the husband, then what will happen? We don't consider these people to be our friends, do we? Would we? If somebody is constantly commenting, criticizing, would we consider them to be a friend? Never, ever. Shaitan, he interferes in everything that we do. When you go to your house, when you sit down to eat something, anything you do, Shaitan is there to bother you. But the thing is, we don't see him. And this is why we don't take him as an enemy. But Allah is telling us here what Shaitan said. That I will come to them from before, from behind, from their right, from their left. And what's his objective? Why does he interfere? To ruin the work that we're doing. Because when you're doing something, like for example, imagine you're baking, okay? And you're counting, okay, I've put 3 tablespoons, I need to put 2 more. And somebody's constantly talking, what happens? Do you get confused? Did I put 3 or 4? You get confused, right? And then you can't remember if you would put baking soda or not, so you put it again anyway, and then what happens? You get baking soda cookies. Not chocolate chip cookies, baking soda cookies, because all you can taste is baking soda. So aren't you mad at that person? That they ruined what you were doing? They destroyed it? Your whole effort has gone waste? That is Shaitan's goal. That whatever deed we're doing, we're giving charity, we're fasting, we're praying, he wants to ruin it for us, so that they don't have any worth in the hereafter. The Prophet ﷺ said, the Shaitan is present with any one of you in everything he does. In everything he does, Shaitan is present with you. In everything he does. He is present even when a person eats food. So if any one of you drops a mouthful, he should remove away any filth on it and eat it, and not leave it for the devil. And when he finishes the food, he should lick his fingers, for he does not know in what portion of his food the blessing lies. This is why we have been taught that the barrier between us and Shaitan, the thing that will come between us and Shaitan is what? The name of Allah. Bismillah. Saying Bismillah. When a person says Bismillah and locks the door, Shaitan cannot open it. When a person says Bismillah and eats and drinks, Shaitan cannot have a share in that. Even when it comes to sexual intercourse, there also the dua, what is that? Bismillah. Because Shaitan interferes in everything. So, this is something we need to remember. And in order to protect ourselves from Shaitan, remember the name of Allah. Allah said, get out of paradise, reproached and expelled. Whoever follows you among them, I will surely fill hellfire with you altogether. So many people will follow Shaitan. And O Adam, dwell, you and your wife, in paradise, and eat from wherever you will, but do not approach this tree, lest you be among the wrongdoers. Adam a.s. was tested with only one tree. And we are also tested with just a few haram things. Everything is lawful, just these things are haram. But look at what Shaitan will do. He will make that which is prohibited attractive. There's so much food, so many options. What does Shaitan say? Oh, that tree. So many things to do, but what does Shaitan say? Do it the wrong way. He makes haram attractive, so easy. So when we choose the haram option, then who are we listening to? Shaitan. He is doing with us exactly what he did to Adam alayhi salam. فَوَسْوَسَ لَهُمَ الشَّيْطَانِ But Shaitan whispered to them. You see here, Shaitan started on the first day. His mission, he started on the first day. He didn't wait for Adam a.s. to go on earth. Even though Adam a.s. was created to live on earth. But before he was sent on earth, he was placed in Jannah for a test. Alright? And Shaitan, what did he do? He started that same day. He didn't wait for next month, for next year. What do we do? What do we do? I'll do something, inshallah. And then what happens when the time comes? We forget. So whatever is necessary, just do it now. Shaitan whispered to them. And what was his goal? To make apparent to them that which was concealed from them of their private parts. Meaning he wanted their bodies to be exposed. How? He wanted that the clothes they had been given in Jannah, they should be taken away from them. And when they'll be taken away from them, their body will be exposed, causing them embarrassment. So that was his goal. He said, your Lord did not forbid you this tree, except that you become angels or become of the immortal. What a lie. What a lie. And Shaitan also tells us the same kind of lies. Just take this mortgage. Within a few years, you'll own the house. Really? You'll be living in debt for the rest of your life. That's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. But shaitan tells us you'll own a house. You'll own it? How will you own it? How can you if you cannot afford it now? If you cannot afford rent, how can you afford a mortgage? You understand? Shaitan is a liar. He lies to us. He tells us that what Allah has forbidden, it is good for us. He said to Adam, your Lord did not forbid you this tree except that you become angels or become of the immortal. وَقَاسَمَهُمَا, and he swore by Allah to them. And sometimes shaitan brings such people in front of us who will swear, who will tell us that no, this is the only option you have. You better do it. You are in a state of necessity. Indeed, I am to you from among the sincere advisors. He comes to us also in the same way. Such great deception. You see, Adam a.s. had never seen an enemy at this point. Forget an enemy, he had never seen a man at this point, another man, because it was just him and Hawa. That's it. The only two human beings. Right? So this was his first encounter with someone who was very cunning. So what happened? فَدَلَّاهُمَا بِغُرُورٍ. So he made them fall through deception. And when they tasted of the tree, their private parts became apparent to them. Meaning, the clothes of Jannah were taken away from them. The honor that they were given in Jannah, it was taken away from them. And that's exactly what happens. When we commit a sin, then what are we doing? We are embarrassing ourselves. We are now depriving ourselves of the blessings that Allah had promised us. Remember, there is not even one morsel of food that is written for you except that you will eat it before you die. Not a morsel of food. If it's written for you, you will eat it. You cannot die until you eat it. You cannot. So the Prophet ﷺ said, أَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. Seek what Allah has decreed for you in a beautiful way. That is what you are being tested about. How do you seek it? How do you get it? If a house is written for you, you will have it. You will have it. Nobody can keep that away from you. And this is our belief in Al-Qadr. If an education is decreed for us, it is decreed for us. No one can prevent us from it. What is our test? أَجْمِلُوا فِي الطَّلَبِ. Be beautiful in acquiring it, in seeking it. And when we don't, then who are we embarrassing? Ourselves. Who are we humiliating? Ourselves. Who are we depriving of the honor in Jannah? Ourselves. So they began to fasten together over themselves from the leaves of paradise. Instantly they started covering themselves, because this is within the people of Iman, the people of Haya. They do not like to expose their bodies. And their Lord called out to them, did I not forbid you from that tree and tell you that shaitan is to you a clear enemy?